not walk away. Banning books. It's wrong. I say stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Pass universal background checks. Send me the border bill now. The state of our union is strong and getting stronger.
Hey, want to listen to some tunes?
It takes years to be a part of what you've done, to find the truth inside yourself and not depend on anyone. It takes years to find the nerve to be a part of what you've done, to find the truth inside yourself and not depend on anyone. It takes years to find the nerve to be a part of what you've done, find the truth inside yourself and not depend on anyone. It takes years to find the nerve to be a part of what you've done. Find the truth inside yourself and not depend on anyone. It takes years to find the nerve to be a part of what you've done. Find the truth.
Somebody also says, sound like troll talk. Troll talk? I don't know what troll talk you're talking about right now, but again, there's a donation link there in the chat if you want to help us out. We'll have more information coming. Video on the left-hand side, yesterday I put out. We're going to get deeper into this. We're going to dive deeper and we're going to start talking more together about how we make a real change, and we're going to have solutions. We're going to do this more.
Hey there, I'm Mr. Terry, a high school history teacher. Welcome back to another History Teacher Reacts video. All right, today, you guys, I'm going to be checking out another conspiratorial related subject, and that is that the Earth is flat. I want to try to learn and also react and comment.
You're fired! Don't! with wisdom for today. Now let's take a look at that discretionary dollar you just heard predicted for the 60s.
Is it the field?
A trend developed which now indicates that today's 265 television markets are becoming 14 or so vast marketing areas.
So the magnet can just keep pushing the field away, and that frequency just follows it. Who knows?
I think if you don't look it up,
I don't think
Google explains it. The magnetic field is doing something with the air medium, right? And it's creating almost kind of like a wake front in a water. You know, like when you know what a wake front is. It's creating that precessional, reciprocal wave front in a continuous rhythm to where it's almost like a bubble. Not that the fire won't ever touch the magnet, but you get the drift.
It does push towards the medium.
Do you guys believe like the Earth is flat, or like the Earth is round?
Have you ever been, dude? Have you ever been to the edge of the Earth? Have you ever seen? Have you been in space? Don't think so. The Earth is flat. You know, actually, it is Wayne, like a little tiny like crater. That's why it's flat right there.
To have to know stuff,
I think it's much more interesting to live not knowing than to have answers which might be wrong. I have approximate answers and possible beliefs and different degrees of certainty about different things, but I'm not absolutely sure of anything, and then many things I don't know anything about.
Of virtually every small child for learning. They start out eager, intellectually wide-eyed, asking extremely clever questions about the world, and then something happens, by and large, to discourage them, and I think it's a tremendous waste of natural resources. For example, a kid asks, Mommy, why is the grass green? And very often you get an answer like, oh, don't ask dumb questions, or who knows, when in fact it's an extremely profound question. And how much better would it be? Why is the sky blue, or anything like that? In both those cases, it goes to the fundamentals, in one case of biology, and the other of a kind of physics. How much better it would be to say to the child, that's a good question, Johnny. I don't know the answer. Maybe we can look it up. Or nobody knows. Maybe when you grow up, you'll be the person to find out. I think kids who are discouraged from asking those questions wind up learning the lesson that there's something bad about using the mind, and we lose resources. And we need those intellectual resources because we are in very perilous times. And I think the complex and subtle problems that we face can only have complex and subtle solutions. And we need people able to think complex and subtle thoughts. And I believe a great many children have that capability if only they're encouraged.
Visiting 19 countries during 3 years at sea.
Really flat.
The crew used the stars, wind and ocean swells to guide them. They wanted to use the same techniques as the first Polynesian settlers did to Hawaii hundreds of years ago. There it is going into New York, there it is in Sydney. Proof, if you needed it, that it has been around the world.
I just love that. Proof, if you needed it, that it has been around the world.
This is a challenge. Introducing the Flat Earth Challenge. You may not know it, but someone close to you is one of the millions of people that now believes the Earth is flat. It's hard for them to admit it because of social shame, but they know it's true and logical because they've looked into it extensively.
Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning, and officially it's an oblate spheroid. It's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator. It's like pear-shaped. It's like pear-shaped. It's like pear-shaped.
Saw a new physiotherapist today. He's given me 3 new exercises to do. And this helps. Anyway, back to it, yes.
the beat, the beat, the beat, the beat, the beat is flat just like the earth. They've been lying to us ever since birth. See what the truth is so you can learn this. Will be the very first flat earth song that's gotta vibe. Your evidence is what Bill Nye and the science. You can't even explain the flat earth. My bill rocks everyday space. Ain't real and stars in our brain. If you deny it, well, you're insane. If you look outside, you'll see no curve. But no, of course, you can't observe. The earth is flat, but you deny that it's a fact. The earth is flat, but you deny that it's a fact. I said, about to bring out my day ones who know about the earth and sun. Low gangster, Isaiah, it's all you. Don't spread the lies, preach the truth.
I do what I want and I do what I see, and I see that the government's lying to me. They're not telling the truth. They take a genius to see the earth ain't round. Stop the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy is all a lie. Bill Nye probably ain't even a guy. So don't believe him or what he says. He says the earth is run by the feds, by the ops, by Joe Biden. All of you guys are just lying. I'm the truth, so are we. It's a flat earth and we believe.
We believe not in the globe. We can see that you don't know. Bill Nye is dumb just like your mom, so he went ahead, cooked, and made a song. Wait a minute, how'd I just get so good? Call me your father, cause I am straight from the hood. So flat earth is the song we'll always be singing. So don't be surprised if your mama is singing the earth.
Hey, wanna listen to some tunes?
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting. But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round. Seems to support the notion that the world is round.
We feel the benefits of foreign trade right here at home. Each additional $1 billion in manufactured goods and trade means another 20,000 American jobs. And yet, in spite of the fact that last year alone, total gross exports accounted for virtually all of this nation's economic growth, a new breed of isolationists seem to think domestic policy ends at the water's edge. Well, thank God they weren't around back in 1492. Imagine the hard time they've given Christopher Columbus. Voices on the right and left are working right now to breathe life into those old flat earth theories of protectionism, of isolationism, that there is no going back. Our new world is far smaller, communications far more instant, our horizons stretch much farther with each generation. This is 1991, not 1791. Horse and buggy attitude won't carry us into the next century. And we will knock down barriers wherever we find them, to open markets, for instance, for our computer software, movies, books, and pharmaceuticals. We will fight hard against protectionism, both at home and abroad. And 5 centuries ago, a man of courage and vision set sail from Europe, searching for new trade routes and opportunities. And he defied the timid counsel of those who said the earth was flat. Christopher Columbus's voyage to the Americas transformed human history. Columbus was an entrepreneur, and the risk he took 500 years ago continues to pay off abundantly today. And today we still have to combat the flat earth mentality, the mindset that urges us to barricade our borders against competition, to shut off the free exchange of food and machinery and skills and ideas.
Now, I know there are still a few who insist that climate change is one big hoax, even a political conspiracy. My friends, these people are so out of touch with science that they believe rising sea levels don't matter because in their view, the extra water is just going to spill out over the sides of a flat earth. They're wrong, obviously. For the benefit of those who may still question the 97% of peer-reviewed studies on climate change, let me just underscore. You don't need to be a scientist to know that the earth is round, that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, and that gravity is the reason that objects fall to the ground. You could pick 100 different examples of simple things that happen every day that reflect science and determinations of science. And you don't need to be a scientist.
Those who argued that the earth was flat. And for a long period of time, people argued that the earth was flat, even when the evidence of astronomers and others and explorers evidenced that it was in fact quite the opposite. And so we have, in effect, with respect to climate change in America today, what is fundamentally a flat earth caucus. A bunch of people, some of them in the United States Congress itself, who still argue against all the science, all the evidence. They argue that somehow we don't know enough about climate change, or they argue that the evidence is sufficient, or they argue that it just is a hoax. I mean, we have members of the United States Senate who argue that it is a hoax.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Everybody, please have a seat. Have a seat. It is wonderful to be here. Thank you so much. It is great to be in Boulder City. You looked around at this flat, beautiful land, and not only because it's flat, transmission lines were already here. The sun is traveling, and there's no haze, and it's absolutely clear. And so, now, you'd think, given this extraordinary site, given the fact that this is creating jobs, generating power, helping to keep our environment clean, making us more competitive globally, you'd think that everybody would be supportive of solar power. That's what you'd think. And yet, if some politicians had their way, there won't be any more public investment in solar energy. There won't be as many new jobs and new businesses. Some of these folks want to dismiss the promise of solar power and wind power and fuel-efficient cars. In fact, they make jokes about it. One member of Congress, who shall remain unnamed, called these jobs phony. Called them phony jobs. I mean, think about that mindset, that attitude that says because something is new, it must not be real. You know, if these guys were around when Columbus set sail, they'd be charter members of the Flat Earth Society. We were just talking about this, the Flat Earth Society. We were just talking about this.
So I'm going to take this opportunity to respond very directly to Barack Obama. Now, let me go a step further. Let's talk Flat Earth Society. I'm just asking the president, who apparently belongs to the Flat Earth Sierra Club Society.
Now, here's the sad thing. Lately, we've heard a lot of professional politicians, a lot of the folks who are, running for a certain office, who shall go unnamed. They've been talking down new sources of energy. They dismiss wind power. They dismiss solar power. They make jokes about biofuels. They were against raising fuel standards. I guess they like gas guzzlers. They think that's good for our future. We're trying to move towards the future. They want to be stuck in the past. And we've heard this kind of thinking before. Let me tell you something. If some of these folks were around when Columbus set sail, when Columbus set sail, they must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round. They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round.
Nobody has a monopoly on what is a very hard problem. But I don't have much patience for anyone who denies that this challenge is real. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
Early in the next decade, a set of crewed flights will test and prove the systems required for exploration beyond low Earth orbit. Exploration beyond low Earth orbit. You looked around at this flat, beautiful land, and not only because it's flat, transmission lines were already here. The sun is traveling, and there's no haze, and it's absolutely clear, and so.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting. But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round.
It's amazing to watch the White House continue to argue that the Earth is flat.
They argue that it just is a hoax. I mean, we have members of the United States Senate who argue that it is a hoax.
Which both supports and counters scientific theory or hypothesis,
There is no scientific
and
evidence
assists
that counters it.
students in developing critical thinking skills to evaluate scientific theories and hypotheses. The legislature recognizes that the teaching of certain scientific topics, such as climate science, may be controversial. The legislature encourages the teaching of such scientific controversies to be made in an objective manner with both strengths and weaknesses of such scientific theory or hypothesis.
We, the legislature, recognize that there is a debate about whether
Critical
the Earth is
thinking.
round or flat.
No.
And let's encourage critical thinking by saying there should be a legitimate debate between whether the Earth is round or flat. Because after all, any idiot can walk outside and look and see that it's flat.
Why are we going to waste our time with flat Earth people? Now, unfortunately, he still seems to have a soft spot for Giuliani, or he's just doing his job.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Good. Take a listen at what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said at the New Jersey concert.
So I'm going to tell you this, that the next time you see John Stossel or Glenn Beck or Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity, these flat earthers.
With hot air, author of The Politically Incorrect Guide to Global Warming, Chris Horner, the president and founder of the Global Warming Conference, John Cleveland, and from Natural Resource Defense Council, John Koisman is with us. John, welcome back.
Good to see you.
First of all, he not only said that about me, flat earthers, corporate toad.
Instead, you've chosen to travel the country calling people like Jonathan Isaac and others, myself included, flat earthers. We find that very insulting, goes against the science. Are you a doctor or a medical doctor? Not a medical doctor. Do you have a science degree? And yet you travel the country calling people flat earthers who have had COVID, looked at studies of millions of people, and made their own personal decision that their immunity they naturally acquired is sufficient. To hold them down and vaccinate them. Do you want to apologize for calling those people flat earthers?
Years ago, before the pandemic, before much of this, I got fascinated with the idea of flat earthers. Now, this is an entirely new phenomenon. There wasn't really any moment back in recorded history not the ancient Greeks or the ancient Babylonians or the Incas or whoever else, who actually wondered whether the earth was actually flat or not. And Christopher Columbus, they knew the earth was round. There was no danger he was going to fall off the edge of the world. That wasn't what people worried about when he was setting off to discover the Americas or discover a shortcut to India. But recently, over the past few years, a whole bunch of people have decided that the world is flat. Now, everything we know about science, from the people we've sent to the moon, to the photos we've taken from space, to how we explain day versus night and seasons, we know that the earth is round. But there are a whole bunch of people out there who have decided that the earth is flat. And they hang out with each other, and they find different ways of proving to themselves that the earth is flat. Now, that may not seem like a very serious thing, because someone who believes the earth is flat is not going to necessarily cause tremendous harm to everyone else. But the ability to start to believe something that simply isn't true, because enough people are telling you and reinforcing that around you, actually starts creating real problems. But if someone says the earth is flat, you can see extensive YouTube pages devoted by people who've decided, and this is a recent phenomenon over the past decade or so, that the earth is flat, because their experience as they look out to the horizon.
Rockets everywhere this morning, while outdoing his fellow billionaires in the race to space. Amazon boss Jeff Bezos will blast into orbit next month.
Do you know what they call that?
A rocket.
They call it Blue Origin. Does that look a little odd to you? It's just me. Joining us now for more is US correspondent Alison Petrowski. Ali, the Bezos flight will officially kick off the company's space tourism business.
Yes, that's right, Carl. Good morning to you, Carl. Good morning to you, Ali. Launch of the interesting shaped rocket, thanks for pointing that out, Carl, will happen on July 20 out of remote.
Go, Jeff. Go, Mark. Go, Wally. Go, Oliver. You are going to space.
There's an American plane.
beauty, of course, when you're in open tuning, you can just do that and move it up. It's going to be a major shape, so you've got to pick where you're going. Major, minor, 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 major.
Flat life in exchange for clothes, turn hatred into love. All full of babies, time on a flat smacking love. People ball and have a quit till they got a flatter plug and the ball blown up because they learn to see the Sunday a field man world. Amen. Catch a rock star, flatter in love, that's a fears me. Got these faces running all wild for an alibi. When we ride, racing lines, our shoulders ride. Moving into the room, in the air, all you hear is no whispers of doom. That's a scared, they don't want to see us head on. Think of all the brothers that are flat, we are legion strong. Kill your slave master, messing with the flat brothers. E-A-N-E, flat tracks didn't spread quicker. Show them all, let them understand and close out the picture. Sliced open jugular by a God-fearing flat brother.
Bean sprouts?
Why have a belief as to whether or not global warming is real or not real?
Because
if
I just find that when things
you don't understand
correct,
the science.
you are correct.
But why have a belief in it?
Right. So it's not a belief. It's not a belief in it. I don't believe in it.
If you could see the moon, why can't you see Hawaii?
There's a lot of atmospheric.
The ones who make the GPS, the ones who make the maps, people say it's round. All the people that do satellites, all the people that are involved in aerospace, all the people that are involved in anything where you have to calculate to places, all those people think it. They're all wrong? That's crazy that they haven't seen that picture. They don't see that picture. If they saw that picture, they would get it.
If you're not gagging with each thrust, if your eyes are not even watering, and if you don't even have to pause in the middle to catch your breath, are you even brushing?
Who can turn the world on with her smile? Who can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile? Well, it's you, girl, and you should know it. With each glance and every little movement you show it. Love is all around, no need to waste it. You can have the town, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all. Love is all around. To waste it, you can have the town, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all. You are most likely to succeed. You have the looks and charms, and girl, you know that's all you need. All the men around adore you. That sexy look will do wonders for you. Love is all around, no need to waste it. You can have the town, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all.
Everything is fine. I mean, at amazing speeds.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
To introduce the concept of free fall. So let's use this model of the Earth. And let's enlist the help of a friend, Patsy. You might know her.
Sorry, I don't understand the conspiracy. They ain't been on the moon.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
And they, Twitter users, did come for Curry.
Does this ring mean anything to you?
Freemason?
So powerful, such a smooth launch, and then arrival on board the International Space Station and adapting to this weightless environment and being able to go to the cupola. And practice makes perfect. Give me another week.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
All right. I think I'll have some water in this painting today. I love water. It's easy to paint. And we'll use that same old phthalo blue. Just add a little more onto the brush. Now, still water is always level. And I think today, let's have still water.
Everything is fine. I mean, at amazing speeds. Everything is fine. I mean, at amazing speed.
So long ago, I don't remember where, but when they say I lost my only friend, but since she got easy, a broken heart disease, so listen, who's cemetery cheese? She's always had a pretty face, and I wonder when she hung around this place.
Alive. But as we gather here today, I really want to discuss an entirely new threat to our country. Just a few miles up the road in Washington, D.C., an entirely different scene is unfolding. Our government and our legacy institutions are losing credibility in the public eye at breakneck speed, even though their systematic takeover of America has been going on for years. The federal bureaucracy, the mainstream media, academia, Hollywood, big tech, and every other nexus of power in America today has turned its fire against conservatives, against Christians, against anyone who stands in their way. I call this a crisis of legitimacy in the United States government. America was founded on the notion that all political power comes from the consent of the governed, and that sovereignty does not belong to any one official or institution, but it belongs to we, the American people. The reality is that the government in Washington, D.C. no longer represents the people it claims to serve. And it has stopped even pretending to execute the charge laid out by our founders, protection of life, just becoming a beloved nation. They don't recognize the days that they grew up gas in their car. They wonder what kind of Washington's solution, double down on insane environmental policies like the Green New Deal, mandatory electric vehicles, even though other countries polluted at far higher rates than we do. We're sitting on some of the largest untapped oil reserves in the world. Our borders are wide open. An estimated 10 million illegal aliens have invaded our country since Biden took over, which is more than the population of 40 of the 50 states. A civilization cannot sustain itself this way, and we have no idea who these people are. They could be terrorists, spies, cartel members, or human traffickers, and they appear to be mostly military-aged males. They could be affecting things like their cell phones, whether they work appropriately every day. And I guarantee you there's a whole bunch of stuff that they're going to be doing. All these people coming here are not our friends. The leaders in Washington won't enforce the law and protect you from the rampant crime that is destroying our inner cities and making them
Sometimes you gotta black out, keep the Mac out. Shout out to the dude that keep the pack house. What you know about a stack house? I'm rap's most critically acclaimed, writing shit that's insane. But after the Peter Pan, from New York to Japan, you make more when you come with a plan. I both the action for jump shot, J Flock, and we about to flame him up, cause he can't lay up the stuff. The lyrical force you had to deal with. And we know your hand is no good, you might steal again. Bar for bar here to set the movement clear. Something that's so rare, 40 dominant year, young bolder year. You up and leave you on the street, fleet with dirt bites and nights on the feet. Something light on the beat, knock King Kong right off his feet. You crazy, 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 crazy. Spit hotter, get money and get right. To the spotlight, battle for the belt every day and every night. I'm a legend, minus the shit, we live this with a passion. Block a city forever blasting. Got my John Doe with me and my Rondo with me. Yo, tell TVR everything's so clicky clicky, and me and Burners are easy. I'm from Flocka City 168, we doing niggas greasy. Going that Bronx, New York, homie, believe me.
Support reach.
I'm just jump shot J, spitting cold facts from around the way. I'm talking way back, like back in the days. Most time my eyes glaze, I guess I'm off the haze. Keep the Mac up, crack your back, get busy. Who is he? Rap circles, round you earthles. Don't make me hurt you. I put in too much work to play with you and your goofy ass crew. Welcome to the zoo. Bolder this, bolder that. All I keep hearing is bolder back. Bolder this, bolder that. All I keep Now we're going to do a song you might know. This is called It's All Too Much.
machine learning. And let's not forget, the #1 rule in cybersecurity is nobody is 100% unhackable. That's why Wix goes all out with a bug bounty program for independent security researchers, aka ethical hackers. And that's not all. It's time for response. Even in the unlikely event of an extreme situation, your business stays up and running. The IR team gets it done. They're trying to act fast, and there's a BCP for reliable continuation and smooth recovery. So look, you take care of business. Security's on Wix.
More deadly armaments, military and economic. All about us are threats of new aggression, military and economic. It takes at least 2 to make a peace. 1 can make a war.
After the Second World War between the Western power and the communist bloc. Of worldwide proportion, the conflict was tested in the ideological differences between communism and capitalistic democracy. Mutual suspicion had long existed between the West and the USSR, and the friction was even sometimes manifest in the Grand Alliance and the Second World War.
Yeah, but you get the drift.
It does push towards the medium, like the fires within that field
just refuse to go by the ether terminology.
Well, they're set in their ways, right? Because they're making a good living. And, you know what I'm saying? Why spend time on change?
Well, the point is you only got these two postulations. Like, unless you have a third option, dude, you know, it's just bad faith to come in booing either side, bro. Like, without anything to support or define anything differently, let alone your own definition. Just throwing your hands up and saying, I don't know, but your shit sucks. You know, it's not a good...
Earth, wind, and fire, right? Like, take Earth, or a part of Earth, right? Whatever would be in that equation. And, you know, wind and fire, basically. But you have a component, like, what if the medium is a fluid, right? What if it's a superfluid or a plasma?
Oh, he left.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Did he say anything? He just dipped or what?
What about the Baghdad battery, or what about the Baghdad battery or assault battery? There's no magnets there.
I don't even. Hey, Beast, man. I just wanted to tell you. I want to tell you, Beast, that I think it's hilarious that the highest pursuit of science is literally to discover the ether. You know, they call it the grand unified theory, right? But that's just another way of saying we're trying to discover the ether. We're like, yeah, you're good, bro. It's called the ether. And they're like, no, but we want to get there step by step. We want to get there through experimentation and reach the ether by discovering it step by step. And we're like, listen, man, we can work from both ends here and meet in the middle. And they're like, no, we're only climbing up the stairs and we're at the top saying we can start walking down them and meet you in the middle and exchange notes. They're like, no, we're heading towards the top. We're just not there yet, and we're not going to acknowledge that there's a top of a staircase until we climb those steps. But they're looking for the grand unified thing. And we're just like, yeah, we call it the ether, bro.
Pretty weird, man.
They're getting closer, though. I mean, you can see with the whole quantum fields and stuff, where they're denying particles and saying that they're just nodes of field excitementation or whatever. They're getting closer and closer every year. They're just saying, yeah, okay, fine. The ether's real, but we're not going to call it that, okay?
I was just trying to figure out, like, why he was so against calling light electromagnetic. And I'm thinking about it, right? And I was trying to see it from his point of view, and that's why I went to the fire. Right? Like, fire's light.
Away with words, huh? Away with words, away with herbs. We moving this flock of shit like birds. I'm serving medicine to all you veterans, especially on the late night. Book 'em like a Jay Leno price. Both about to take flight like a pair of mics. I'm A1 whenever I write, right?
Welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show if you don't know it's part of the show. Didn't they teach you to reach for the stars while opening up the bars and keeping you chained down with mortgage bills and cars? Vaccines for your arms, kids sounding like supercharged, caffeinated hate-filled scars and rage-quit repertoires. No answers for yards, caught up in emotion that's not even yours. Imposter truths like impeccable retards, lined up for your serving of Gish Gallop and wars. No remedy can save the lost, in love with the yarn. I'm tired of walking into refracted shards, poor science displayed by disgusting bards. Soaked in sin with your dupe is delight for a new hand of cards. Been so long, seems like for love I'm just too hard, that's it. Welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show if you don't know Intoxicated hate makes you believe you're spinning in space, why you have no shame or grace. It's a disdainful state I used to contemplate, how to save myself from my own self-hate. Wonder why I was even made with a dreadful fate, forced to try and awake with a full plate, no one to help me stay awake or educate. I've had to liberate and fight through hidden gates, but my brother, heaven could never be late, and rockets don't work in space. It's all fake, the show is on Mars, it's a joke, but you're too far gone, it won't be long. Fepe's beak is strong. We have our song and we march along like streams of knowledge leading to God's holy pond, and lives of truth that hits the bong and sings the song, turns mankind from the wrong. We come in peace with a holy gown, and all of us wearing our holy crowns. Said the earth is flat and we probably just won't get along. Just to go along, I said, welcome to the show, where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, you don't know. Take your leave, so long. Take your leave, so long. Take your leave, so long. Take your leave. Take your leave, so long. Take your leave, so long. Take your leave, so long. Take your leave. Take your name, so long. Take your name, so long. Take your name, so long. Take your name. Take your name, so long. Take your name. Take your name, so long. Take your name. So long. Take your name, so long. Take your name.
Yes.
very special VFX video for all of you.
Is the earth flat or not?
Everything that you've been taught when you was a child is BS. The boat is going far away. It should be floating down when the earth is going around, but it stays flat the whole time. At a certain point, at a certain amount of miles, it should start to curve down. A boat, you should start to see the top of the sailboat when it's going down like that. What are you talking about, man? It's this shape, and it has a nice icicle wall around so we can't fall out that bitch.
All right, that's ridiculous. It's huge. You gotta distance yourself to see the full spectrum.
No, in a certain amount of miles, you can see that. Like when you have a lighthouse flashing the light, when the boat's, it's supposed to be a certain type of distance where you can't see the light anymore. You can still see the light from miles and miles away, man. Come on, bruh. You see these pictures from NASA? Them shits look fakey-eyed than a mug. Do the research on your own and stop believing what the man is out here saying to us.
Like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot.
Everything is viral. I mean, at amazing speed.
That's our show. Join us tomorrow night at 11. Here it is, your moment.
Afford to get some new teaching equipment.
Yes, my world map is so old it still shows the earth is flat.